Kia ora koutou and welcome to the Southern Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name's Angela Caves. I'm the Digital Boost Events Manager. This afternoon I've got my collaborating partners on the line with me. So we've got Benji from Connected, and today we're going to be speaking to Amotai. We've just finished up with our first three sessions of the conference. So we had Connected with the regional business partners. Then we heard from Kuma, and we've just wrapped up with Digital Boost. So if you would like to watch those sessions, they are available for post-event viewing on Digital Boost YouTube channel. Welcome to our audience who are joining us on the webinar and also via our live streaming platforms on YouTube, Facebook and LinkedIn. It's lovely to have you all here this afternoon. Handing over to Benji now, who's going to take us through some housekeeping, and then we'll get straight into our presentation. Thanks, Benji.
Oh, thanks, Ange. Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone. Hello, my name is Benji Ara, and I'm an Employment Liaison Advisor for Connected, based out of the sunny Otepoti, Dunedin. I just have a couple of webinar housekeeping things to touch on quickly. So throughout this session, you're able to see and hear from our panel presenters, but we are unable to see or hear you. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions throughout the session, please feel free to drop them in either the comments or the questions and answer box, which can be accessed at the bottom of your screen. At the end of Amotai's presentation, we will collate and ask these questions then. So that's all the housekeeping there. So now I'd just like to pass on to the Amotai team. So I'll pass on to you there first, Paul. Kia ora.
Tui a ki runga, tui a ki raro, tui a ki waho, tui a ki roto. Tui a ki te here tangata, no re tēnā koutou, kia ora koutou katoa. Tuatahi, nei rata mihi ki ngā atua, ki te tā tātou matu i te rangi, kia tapu tōna ingoa, ka puta ia a tā mātou mātua, tuatahi, ko rangi i tu iho nei, ko papatū nuku takatua ke nei tēnā kūrua. Tuarua, ki ngā mate, ko haere atu ki te wehi, ko haere atu ki te poe, tēnā haere atu rā. Apiti hono, a rātou ki a rātou, tātou ki a rātou, tātou ki te hunga ora, apiti hono tātai hono ki te hunga ora, apiti hono tātai hono ki te hunga mate, tēnā koutou. Nei rā te mihi ki tā tātou, mana whenua o tēnei atamira, o tēnei tuapapa, Digital Boost. Nei rā te mihi kia kōrua Angela, rāua ko Ben. He mihi mahana kia kōrua mō tēnei āheinga ki te kōrero ana, ki te tōtō ana, a tātou kaupapa a Amotai. So nei rā te mihi kia kōrua. Kia tātou, kua haere hui mai i tēnei ahi. He mihi mahana kia koutou, kua tai i tēnei hui. I te hui ipurangi, nei rā te mihi kia koutou. Ko ai au e kōrero ana, ko pōtuku kino tōku ingoa, he uri hau no te tai rāwhiti, me hauraki, me Waikato hoki. I tipu ake ki te tai rāwhiti i te taone o Uawa, o Talaga Bay. He oi e noho ana hau ki tauranga moana e nai nei, ko au te Manuhuia, Regional Relationship Manager, o tauranga me Rotorua. Kia ora koutou katoa. So, kia ora everybody. Welcome to our presentation today. Just kind of recognised our atua, our first parents, Rangi and Papa, and their creator, whose sacred name, our dead who have passed on before us, and then also to us here in the living. Then to our hosts, Angela and Ben and Digital Boost, for the opportunity to be here and to present the kaupapa of Amotai. My name is Paul Tukukino. I'm the Regional Relationship Manager of Rotorua and Tauranga. And we're really excited to be here today to share with you the kaupapa of what Amotai is all about. So without any further ado, I'll hand the time over to my colleague Tui from Te Tai Rāwhiti, and she can introduce herself and then take us through our kōrero for today. Kia ora koutou.
Kia ora koutou, ngā mihi Paul, and thank you Digital Boost and Connected for this opportunity to talk to you all. Ko waio, ko hikirangi te maunga, ko waiapu te awa, ko ngā te parau te iwi, ko rua taupare te hapu, ko Tui Babington ahau, engari he iwis ahau. Right, I'm not digital savvy yet, but I have had a practice, so I'll just start sharing my screen to go through our presentation, and just give me a minute. So, I'll just first start with a video, and then we will get into the presentation.
Supplier diversity is a global practice. Here in Aotearoa, our experience is that Māori and Pasifika businesses are the untapped change agents in creating a more inclusive and more sustainable New Zealand economy. Business is one of the main ways Māori and Pasifika can build wealth for their families and communities. That's why we advocate for supplier diversity, getting more Māori and Pasifika businesses contract opportunities with government agencies, local councils, private enterprises, iwi and other not-for-profit organisations. Supplier diversity is a strategic and intentional business process that proactively engages, supports and enables businesses owned by Indigenous people, minority groups, women and social enterprises to be engaged in business-to-business supply chains. Here in Aotearoa, supplier diversity specifically focuses on Māori and Pasifika businesses. Its aim is to level the playing field so these businesses have fairer access to customers and markets. By diversifying your spend, you open up incredible benefits not just for the organisations you contract, but for your own organisation as well. Supplier diversity enables this to happen and supports economic development not just for Māori and Pasifika communities, but for Aotearoa as a whole. When Māori and Pasifika communities prosper, we all prosper. A Māori business is a business that has at least 50% shareholdings by someone who has whakapapa Māori. A Pasifika business is a business that has at least 50% shareholdings held by someone who has Indigenous whakapapa links to the Pasifika nations. Supplier diversity helps to close the wealth gap in Aotearoa, create more employment opportunities for Māori and Pasifika people, create more Māori and Pasifika role models, grow more Māori and Pasifika businesses, drive innovation, and much more. Creating quality supplier diversity programs is also a major competitive advantage and can lead to winning more work, accessing new revenue streams and new markets. So, how does it work? Amotai is the supplier diversity intermediary and experts in supplier diversity in Aotearoa. We connect Māori and Pasifika businesses to contract opportunities. Māori and Pasifika businesses register with Amotai for free. Their business ownership is verified by our verification team, and we connect with each business to learn more about their services and business journey. Buyers that want to buy from Māori and Pasifika businesses subscribe to Amotai and can choose the level of support they require to connect and purchase from Amotai businesses. Having one verified database makes it easy for buying organisations to search for Māori and Pasifika businesses by region and category of work and purchase from those businesses. Supplier diversity creates a more inclusive and more sustainable New Zealand economy. The tide is turning. Join Amotai, Supplier Diversity Aotearoa.
Cool. So yes, I always look at that video and I think, what am I going to talk about? Because it basically sums up what we do really, really well. But first of all, I did want to say that we do have a colleague in the South Island. Her name is Kelly Barry, but she was unable to make it today. So you've got Paulie and I that are online for you guys today. As Paulie said, he's based in Tauranga and I'm based in Tairāwhiti in Gisborne. So let's go through this presentation. Right, so social procurement. So what is that? So social procurement is acquiring any kinds of goods or services in a way that creates social economic value over and above the purpose of what's being procured. So what does that mean? Here's some examples of what that actually looks like. So social procurement, where Amotai plays, we play in this right-hand corner around supply diversity and supply development. So recently the government have mandated some of their agencies to spend 5% of procurement spend with Māori and Pacifica businesses. So we have government agencies on our database that we can buy, that Māori businesses and Pacifica businesses can buy from. And so there are a number of opportunities there for our businesses. Our roles in the regions are to find out what those opportunities are and link our businesses in there. When we're talking about supply development, what we're talking about is what is the capability and the capacity of the business. So it's our role in our regions to understand the ecosystem of what that looks like for our Māori businesses and tap them into those services where required. So, I mean, there's been a number of Digital Boost agencies that have come on and already spoken to you. One, for example, is the Regional Business Partner Program. So just knowing that there is funding out there where businesses can access 5K to grow their business in whatever capacity that looks like. So if you're looking for a website developer, and getting some training in that space, that's a really good opportunity there. Or if you're looking to grow your cash flow and you need support in that space. So we fully understand our businesses, where they're at in their growth journey, and plug them into the ecosystem where necessary. So these are some of the supply diversity levers that Amotai were able to pull back when we first started this journey. So looking along this timeline here, specifically looking at what happened in Tairāwhiti Gisborne, as we had one of our main contractors, Iconic Group, come into our region. He whakapapa to our region, and he was able to win a number of housing with kāinga order, which meant that there was over, I think it was over $5 million of housing. That was just the starting point for him. And now that means that he's able to grow his business in our region. He's actually a nationwide business, and he's able to bring some apprentice into our region and grow them in this space as well. Moving along the timeline, we're obviously looking at other opportunities across the country, but where Amotai and our regional roles came in was with the PDU contracts. So we all know about the $3 billion that was distributed out to the regions. A lot of those contracts actually had supply diversity targets in them, which meant that the main contract holder for those projects did need to engage with Māori and Pacifica businesses, and in some cases did need to spend with Māori and Pacifica businesses. So I know the Dunedin Hospital down there is quite a big one. And so a good place for them to start would be to engage with Amotai and talk to Kelly around what those opportunities look like, which I do believe that she's started that process. And then obviously later on, the government did set their targets around the 5%. And obviously, when we think about 5%, we don't think that's enough, but it is a starting point. And so it's good to note that we are seeing changes in some of the government contracts across the country, which means more Māori businesses have access to that. So Amotai connects Māori businesses with buyers, and we will talk a bit more about that as we go along, and just what the criteria means. But here's a little case study. So this is Aroha. She had been a cleaner her whole adult life, and she had no pay rise in over 8 years, but had managed staff and sites. She had qualifications for flooring, etc., and she reached out to Amotai back in 2019, and we were able to start her in the ecosystem, as I mentioned, and got her some business support to help her, one, initiate her business, go through the company's register online, and actually give her that business sense to grow a business, because she obviously had the skills when it came to cleaning. She registered her business on the Amotai platform, and she won her first contract with some of our buyers on the Amotai database. She now has 8 staff that are all being paid the living wage, and she manages 3 sites. So she managed to get a $600,000 contract, which means it's a really great opportunity for her to forecast what she wants to do with her business. It's a low risk health and safety job, and she's based up in Auckland. So it's a really positive story. I guess a lot of people think about Amotai, and we did start out of the construction boom. So a lot of people think about us as construction and trades, but it's good to see that we support all Māori business. So it doesn't matter what your business is, we want to hear from you. So let's talk about what we do and what that actually looks like. So we provide business support to buyers that want to implement supply diversity. And so what does that actually mean? Well, so buyers that want to implement supply diversity across their organisation, that might look like that they want to pull someone in that wants to learn about engaging with Māori business, what Māori business looks like, whether they have capability and capacity. So we give them support in this space if they wanted to learn about writing policies for their organisations, so that their organisations could then engage with Māori and Pacifica business, and just putting that weighting on the engagement with Māori and Pacifica businesses. It also talks about also supporting in the whole procurement process. So talking about RFTs, the GETS platform, what does EOIs, all the jargon that a lot of us don't understand. We help our businesses engage with our buyers that have all this support. We maintain an online database, which we verify Māori and Pacifica businesses, as you heard on the video, as 50% Māori owned. So we have a lot of organisations out there that haven't been able to be verified as an Amotai business because they are 49% owned or 20% owned, or they think that with a logo that's Māori, that identifies them as a Māori business. So that doesn't meet our criteria. So our criteria is very clear. You must be 50% Māori owned. We have a team in Auckland that will verify you looking at your company's registration online and your iwi that you affiliate to. And then, like what I said before, we work alongside other partners to help grow the capability and the capacity of our Māori and Pacifica businesses, like what we did with Aroha. These are just some examples of what our buyers look like. So as we said, there's a number of government agencies that are mandated to work with us now, but there's also other corporate commercial businesses that want to buy from Māori and Pacifica businesses. So some of the names here you can see, like Downer and Fulton Hogan. A lot of those guys win a lot of the contracts, but then they engage with our Māori and Pacifica businesses when it comes to subcontracting. And so we always say to our Māori and Pacifica businesses that that's also a great opportunity, because it builds your name up, one with the contractor, and two with the buyer as well, because the buyer will see that you're doing that work for the business in the future, and they might come directly to you in a year or 2 or 3, whatever that looks like. So there's nothing wrong with subcontracting to one of these guys. It actually, it's low risk for the business, and it gives you that opportunity to prove yourself as a Māori business as well. So these are just some of the insights and stats that we've got. So as you can see here, we've got over 12,000 FTE employed by Amotai businesses. 35% of those organisations employ Māori or Pacifica people. The average employees is 12, and we've got over 1,000 Māori and Pacifica businesses on our database now. So just to sum up, we are the government intermediary for supply diversity. And these were some of our partners that we partnered with at the beginning. So that's Te Puni Kokiri and the Provincial Growth Fund. Sorry. So that's the end of the presentation. To register, just jump on our website, and it's literally a 10-minute registration form. And once that's completed, you'll then go, it will go up to our team in Auckland, who will verify you as a business. And then, so where you are in your region, Kelly will get in contact with you after that. And that's the end of the presentation, guys.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Tui and Paul, for that. What an awesome opportunity for Māori and Pacifica businesses, and also all other businesses, to engage with them as well. So thanks very much for sharing that information. I had a few questions come through here. The first one I think you actually kind of covered off just on the end there, but was how do I register my Māori or Pacifica business? But I think you just covered that in that last part of your presentation there. The second question is, how can SMEs access the database as a supplier?
Yep, sure. Paulie, did you want to answer that?
I missed your screen. I didn't know if you're still coughing or whatnot. So yes, so as a Amotai supplier, you do get your own login to the network, and then there's about 6 tabs on your homepage. And one of those tabs is suppliers. And basically that takes you to the database. And on the left-hand side of your window, you have a search function. And that search function goes into the sector that you work in, the subsector of, like, let's say if we do construction, it'd be like construction, and then you can be like civil construction, and then you could be, steel fixing and concreting, and then you can go by region. And then, then you can kind of paste a filter from there. So you do have access to all 1,089. That might be a little bit old. I think we're around about 1,100 right now, which is great. But yes, that's a wonderful perk. And I always encourage my businesses that come on board in Tauranga Rotorua to buy from each other. So as a very quick example from that this morning, I did a mihi whakato. So as Tui mentioned, when you register, your manuhuia or your regional relationship manager will get in contact with you, and they will kind of onboard you into the whānau pretty much. And this morning I was privileged enough to sit down with a cleaning organization and a life coach, and I was able to onboard them into the Amotai whānau and share with them and go through, as a part of my whakato process, I go through the back office and share with them what they can buy from other suppliers. So if you need accounting services, if you need law services, or you need business professional services, or if you're and this is a strategy I encourage the cleaning business, I said, if you want to break into industrial, then maybe you could start contacting our civil construction guys and see if there are any industrial opportunities for you. So that's a really cool feature that our suppliers have on the back end of their registration.
Awesome. Well answered. Thanks for that. Paul, another question we have here is just, is Amotai available to small businesses in rural areas? So that's as well as the main cities?
Yes. You can be based anywhere in Aotearoa. If there is no manuhoia in those regions, we would still get in contact with you. So we've got some rural regions around me in Tairāwhiti, but I would certainly be the key contact for this area. So unfortunately for you guys down in the South Island, there is only one rep. So she has to cover the whole South Island, but we are in the process of recruiting someone else to support her in that space. So it doesn't matter where you are. We in the North Island do support her in her role as well. So someone would definitely be in contact. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. And I got one final question here, team, and it's just, what opportunities are you seeing for Māori and Pacifica businesses?
So, I could start off by talking about some of our buyer relationships. I've talked about the one in Tairāwhiti and Gisborne with Iconic Group and Kāinga Order. We've got Kāinga Order that have done a number of housing projects across the country. One of my colleagues' clients in the north just recently received their first contract with Kāinga Order, which has enabled them to build 5 new houses up in the north. I just wanted to give an example of opportunities that are not with government agencies. So another relationship that I manage with one of our buyers is Unispace. And so they're a commercial fit out and construction business. So they've got opportunities across the country. And so how that opportunity, so they share with us what their program of work may look like, and those are the kind of conversations that we have on the buy side, is to understand what their program of work looks like, and then plug in our Māori businesses where they can, where they have the capability and the capacity to do that work. So I know, Kelly's hustling hard down in the South Island. She's got a number of big buyers that she works with. So she's got the Ministry of Education, and she's also got DOC. So those are some of the government agencies that she's working with down there. And it could be right through from civils through to landscaping. It just depends what the contract is. Sorry, I'm not sure if I did say that we do work alongside councils and iwis as well as part of our buyer relationships. And so that also gives councils and iwi an opportunity to see on our database who our Māori businesses are and who those businesses are that whakapapa back to either their region or their iwi.
Okay. I might just add to that one as well, Benji. Sorry.
Cool.
That I had a opportunity to work with TUI on the Unispace recently in my region. And yeah, they were looking for painters and steel fixing and manufacturing. And that was a really cool space for TUI and I to work together to support that buyer. But one of the other things that I have seen coming up a lot, and I spoke to a business just last night, as I'm quite new to the role and new to the rohe, I'm kind of getting myself underneath all of the businesses that are in my space. But yes, the education, being Māori Pacifica and being experts in our own kaupapa, tikanga, and the way that we operate as Māori. A lot of buyers are actually really keen to implement that into their workspace, into their work, into their organization. So I actually have quite a few, at least a dozen, or just under a dozen, Māori consultancy agencies, Māori consultancy businesses in my space, and they are working with MOE. A lot of Māori health practitioners are getting contracts from DHBs and from MOH, so really cool spaces. It's across all, and I think that's what's really exciting about Amotai, is that as the manuhuia and as the team that we have, we can be quite innovative in the way that we approach your business and how we can help you to look at opportunities to increase your revenue, to upscale your business, to work on your capacity. In whichever way you might be in. And I've given a lot of our businesses just that advice to start supplier to supplier. Use that Amotai register. I signed up my cousin who has their own windscreen repair business, and I was like, yeah, man, just give the guys a call. You've got builders in your network. You've got electricians. They've all got car fleets, and just say, hey, I'm an Amotai business. I'd love to do your windscreens when they crack. And that's a great way for our businesses, our small businesses, to work on upscaling what they have. So, kia ora.
Awesome. Thanks heaps for that, Paul and Tui. I think it really does. You're right, exciting. Like what the work that Amotai is doing there, and such a great opportunity for the Māori Pacifica businesses there to engage, and or other businesses to engage with them as well. It's so awesome. I found that story quite inspiring. That was really cool. Hearing about Aroha and her story there. Yeah, I'm just excited to see you expand and your team down here in the South Island as well. I'm sure we'll see Amotai's name around more, so I'm really excited for that.
We
And I just want to say,
do these monthly huis, Ben. So we're going to Waikato for the next one. We'll try and get down to Ōtepoti and Christchurch sometime in this year, I reckon. It'd be really cool to get down there as a team.
awesome. No, we'd love to see you down here on the South Island. That'd be great. So no, I just want to say again, thank you very much, Tui and Paul. You've got a wealth of knowledge, obviously, on the things you speak about and the advice you have to offer. So thank you very much just for speaking at the webinar today.
Ngā mihi.
Oh,
Ngā mihi.
I'll pass back to you to close there, Angela. Oh, actually, sorry, I will just quickly say, in terms of connected there as well, my details are up on the screen there, and so is Claire and Elizabeth, who are also connected employment liaison advisors like myself in Invercargill and Queenstown. So please feel free to reach out to us if you want to know anything more about what's been spoken about in this conference. We can point you on the right way, or other government support available. So now I'll pass to you. Sorry.
That's all good, Benji. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Tui and Paul. I mean, what a phenomenal amount of support our Māori and Pacifica businesses have from Amotai, and it's fantastic to be able to partner with you. And obviously Connected offers support as well. So if anybody forgets anything at all in this series of webinars and you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start, please contact Connected and they will get you in touch with either Kelly down there in the South Island, or Paul or Tui, or somebody within Amotai who can support your journey. And it's the same really from Digital Boost, you know, and that's why we love working with these organisations. We want to be able to offer our support to Māori and Pacifica businesses if they are, you know, they manage to get these contracts and they need to find efficiencies. We want to help them start their digital transformation. So we've got, you know, a number of tools on our platform that can help get that productivity going, and that will free up capacity for them to take on more of these contracts and support more businesses. So please reach out if you have any businesses that need support on that digital transformation journey as well. That does bring our session to a close. Once again, Tui, Paul, Amotai in general, thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to have you on this journey with us and supporting the small businesses of the Southern region. Thank you to my partners at Connected for joining me this afternoon. We do have one more session that's going to kick off at 4 o'clock, which is with New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. So if you are looking to figure out how to export your business, please join us at 4 p.m. And we've got all of our Southern Chambers and EDAs joining us tomorrow, and more government agencies on Thursday. So please register for any of those sessions if you think they are going to help your business grow. Thanks, team. Wonderful to have you all. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.